Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into something absolutely critical for any security professional in Texas, and we're pulling it right from the Level 2 training manual. We're talking about the power to arrest and, maybe more importantly, the serious liabilities that come right along with it.
All right, let's kick things off with the big one, the question that's at the heart of so many problems. Do you, as a security officer, have the same powers as a police officer?
The answer? A big, fat no. And really truly understanding this one word is the most important thing you can do to protect yourself, your job, and your future. It's that simple.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll talk about what it means to be a citizen in a uniform. We'll get into what the law actually considers an arrest. Then we'll cover the only 3 times you get a green light to act. After that, we'll look at the consequences of using force, and finally, what to do if you've made a lawful arrest. First things first, we need to establish the absolute bedrock of your authority. You have to build everything you do on this one fundamental principle.
And this slide really hits the nail on the head. You are a private citizen, period. That uniform, the badge, the post you're standing, none of it gives you special powers. You have the right to make a citizen's arrest, sure, but it is the exact same right as the guy mowing his lawn next door. No more.
Now, take a look at this table from the training manual. It lays out just how stark the differences are between a security officer and a peace officer when it comes to arresting someone without a warrant. And let me tell you, that gap between the two is massive.
So what's the bottom line here? It all comes down to this. Your authority is triggered only by what you see with your own 2 eyes, what happens within your presence or view. A peace officer, on the other hand, can act on probable cause, on evidence, on an investigation. Your authority is observational, theirs is investigative. And that's a world of difference.
Okay, so now we need to talk about what an arrest even is in the eyes of the law. Because, it's way more than just slapping on a pair of handcuffs. This right here is a legal minefield.
The official legal definition is pretty clear: to deprive a person of his liberty. Notice what that doesn't say. It doesn't say anything about force or touching someone, or even saying the word arrest. Just taking away someone's freedom to leave can be enough. And this right here, this is the golden rule you have to burn into your brain. If your words, the way you're standing, your actions, if any of it makes a person believe they can't just walk away, then guess what? You've just made an arrest, and you're responsible for everything that comes with it.
So, this breaks down into 2 types. You've got your actual arrest, that's the physical stuff we all think of, but then there's the constructive arrest, and it's just as serious legally. This happens when someone just submits to you. A simple command like, "Come with me," when you're in uniform. Yeah, that can absolutely be considered a constructive arrest. So, with all these risks swirling around, when do you actually get the green light from Texas law to make an arrest? Let me tell you, the circumstances are incredibly specific. The list is short. Really short. The Texas Code of Criminal Procedures gives you exactly 3 situations that justify a citizen's arrest. That's it. 3. Think of this as your absolute go/no-go checklist before you even think about acting.
So let's be crystal clear on this. Green light number 1, you see a felony happen. Green light number 2, you see a breach of the peace. We're talking a public fight, something that's seriously disturbing everyone. And green light number 3, you are in the middle of stopping a theft. If your situation doesn't fit perfectly into one of those 3 boxes, you don't have the authority to make an arrest. End of story.
But hey, even if you do get a green light, you've got to remember this. You are never, ever required to make an arrest. Your number 1 job, your primary duty, is to observe and report. That's what you're there for, protection and prevention, not enforcement.
Okay, so let's say you do decide to make that arrest. Well, you've just entered the most dangerous part of the whole process. This is the point of no return, where every single thing you do is going to be put under a microscope.
The law says you can only use force that is reasonable and necessary. Anything more than that is excessive and it's illegal. I mean, look at these examples. Someone's just yelling at you, you can't put your hands on them, period. The force you use has to match the situation and not an ounce more.
And if you get it wrong, you're looking at 2 different kinds of trouble coming at you. First, there's criminal liability. That's the state charging you with a crime, like assault. Then there's civil liability. That's the person you arrested suing you, your company, and the client for a whole lot of money. One can cost you your freedom, the other can wipe you out financially.
All right, let's walk through this guilty by association case study from the manual to see how fast things can go south. It's late at night,
An officer finds a gate that's been pried at, and a little ways off he sees two guys working on their truck. He's suspicious, right? But what does he actually know for a fact?
And boom, that's where he goes wrong. He makes an assumption, he gets angry, and he acts. Saying, "You aren't going anywhere," is that constructive arrest we talked about. And then grabbing the guy's arm, that's an actual arrest and an assault. He just crossed multiple lines in about 5 seconds.
The breakdown here is just a total disaster. Mistake number 1, he didn't see a crime. Suspicion is not a green light. Mistake number 2, he has zero authority to demand they answer questions. And number 3, grabbing the guy wasn't assault. The end result? A textbook case of false arrest, leaving him and his company wide open to huge legal problems.
So, what if you do everything right? You've navigated that whole minefield. You had a clear green light. You used only reasonable force. And you made a lawful arrest. What's the right way to handle things from there?
Okay, here's the playbook. And it's all about getting law enforcement involved as fast as possible. You tell them they're under arrest and why. You call the police right away. Don't wait. When they get there, you hand the person over. Your job is done. Then you give a clear, factual statement about what you saw. That's it. Your role is just to start the process. And remember, once you've made that arrest, you can't undo it. Only a judge can.
And that really brings us to the final question, the one you have to ask yourself every single time you're out there. Your job is to prevent crime, not enforce the law. So given how narrow your authority is and how massive the risks are if you get it wrong, is making that arrest really worth it? Is it worth your career, your freedom? Your most powerful tool isn't your handcuffs, it's your judgment. And that's a judgment call only you can make.